As they battle over tithes, as some pastors in Nigeria battle over tithes, over the meaning of tithes, what tithes mean, who should receive the tithes, it occurred to me that it is good to start a job and to finish that job. Why do I say this? If I had the right platform by now, the tithes would have helped to reduce poverty in Nigeria, because I was the person who told Nigerians what the tithe actually meant, how it should be paid and how it should be disbursed, both from the Bible and from the tradition that produced the Bible. Let us take a look first at what the Bible says about tithes. Thou shalt surely tithe all the increase of thy seed. Ladies and gentlemen, I am reading from Deuteronomy 14:6. Thou shalt truly tithe all the increase of thy seed, that which is brought forth in the field year by year. One thing is already clear from our readings. It is something your field produces. It is something that is edible. And thou shalt eat before the Lord thy God in the place which he shall choose to cause his name to dwell there, the tithe of thy corn, that is abado, of thy wine, and of thine oil, and the firstlings of thy herd, and of thy flock, that thou mayest learn to fear the Lord thy God always. You tithe what your field produces. You get 10% of that. Go to the place the Lord thy God chooses, and there you shall eat that tithe. For the sole reason, for the absolute reason that you shall fear the Lord your God. Look at it again. You take 10%, you tithe what your fields produce, take it to the place where the Lord has chosen, eat it there, so that you fear the Lord your God always. And if the way be too long for thee, so that the place is too far from thee, and if the way be too long for thee, so that thou art not able to carry it, because the place is too far from thee, which the Lord thy God shall choose to set his name there, when the Lord thy God shall bless thee, then shalt thou turn it into money. It is saying now, if the place you live is too far from the place where the Lord thy God has chosen for his name to be mentioned in worship, he says, take that yam, take that cocoyam, take that plantain, convert them into money. Bind up the money in your hand, tie up that money in your hands, be they dollars, be they pounds, and shalt go unto the place which the Lord thy God shall choose. After converting it to money, go to that place that the Lord thy God has chosen. And thou shalt bestow the money for whatsoever thy soul desireth, for oxen, or for sheep, or for wine, or for strong drink, or for whatever thy soul asketh of thee. I don't have any strong drink here. and thou shalt eat there before the Lord thy God. The Bible repeated that when you get to that place the Lord thy God has chosen, convert that money to food again. Eat it there. Then the Bible talked about another category of tithe. This one is for the Levites alone. You would find all this in Deuteronomy 14. Go there and read carefully. Now, let us get into the traditions that produced this. This is the Hebrew Bible. This is the Hebrew Bible. It didn't fall from heaven. The people of Israel were observing these traditions before their scribes began to write those traditions down. So let us go to the tradition that the scribes were practicing before, that the people were practicing before the scribes wrote them down, and ultimately the scrolls were converted to what we know as the Bible today. Among the Igbo people, there is a tradition called Ibu Ihu, Ibu Nru. Among the Igbo people, I repeat, there is a tradition called Ibu Ihu. Every year, when Igbos harvest their yams, their cocoa yams, and whatever, what they do is they take 10% of what they have harvested, go to the Obi. The Obi, remember, every Igbo family, all the Igbos are organized in families, and every family has an Obi. The Obi is where everybody meets. Remember again, every Igbo family, or rather, all Igbos are organized in families. And every family has an Obi. And when we talk about families now, we are talking about people who descended from the same great-grandfather. They would have an Obi, where the oldest man, Onyihi, presides as the priest. Everybody will bring 10% of their farm products there, including roosters, that's animals, goods. These will be used to produce food or to prepare a meal which everybody will eat. The leftovers will be given to the poorest members of the community, of the family. I don't see how people can know what the law of tithes or what tithes are talking about without looking at Omenana. It is not possible to understand what the tithes mean, how they should be disbursed, without looking at Omenana. When the Bible says that every nation in the world should be blessed through Abraham, when the Bible says that God said that every nation in the world shall be blessed through Abraham, what the Bible means is that people will look at the children of Abraham and restructure their lives. If people look at Omenana, they will understand what the tithes should achieve. What the tithes should achieve is practical reduction of poverty. Before I proceed, I will go to the book of Malachi, which is also misrepresented and abused. Go read carefully. Whenever it mentions tithe, it mentions food and storehouses. It did not mention money. It mentions food and storehouses. The tithe is supposed to be paid. I'm using the term paid because it's the term that Nigerians used to misrepresent it. The tithe is supposed to be brought in edibles, and the purpose is to make sure that there is always food in the family. If every person, if every Igbo, let us talk about the people who we can say it is their tradition, the people whom we can say that others should learn from. Imagine where every Igbo in the world buys food, sends the food back to the Obi in their Omenana. There will be no starving Igbos. There will be no hungry Igbos. And if people are short of food, many people that are short of food for a week will not go into making of okite. They will not go into engaging in 419. They will not go into engaging in violent crimes. Those that are rich will go about, sleep in the night with both eyes closed. So, why am I talking about tithes? I started the discussion. I wrote and published about it, but I did not continue to hammer it. Now it has become a subject of major controversy between the pastors in Nigeria. One, Pastor Damina, is telling the Nigerian people that tithes has been abused in Nigeria. He is correct. The volume of money that Nigerians pour into tithes is supposed to wipe out poverty in the country. But Damina should up his act, improve his act by studying both the law of tithes in the Bible and studying Omenana, which the scribes of Israel redacted, and we are reading it in the Bible today. Thank you. Meet you during Shabbat.